All right, so... All right.
Oh, this is your mic? Oh, I see. The mic is attached there. I don't know. I thought maybe...
No, it's kind of... Yeah, it's a little ridiculous, but I like it. Sup, Gloomers? This is Alice with Isaac here, which you might be familiar with here at Origins Game Fair. Hi, do you have anything to say? How has the convention been so far, by the way?
It's been good for gaming. I've just been hanging out, playing games, and having some fun. So it's been fun.
That's good. So, like the tournament, or not the tournament, the convention circuit. Like, obviously 2020 was a year that just kind of. It was a very special year. So 2021 coming back. How's the convention circuit actually been this year? I've actually not really participated, but I know that you and Price have been super active in it, and it's probably notably different. I'm just for those getting into it. How's it changed?
Sure. So we've been to Origins obviously, and then we went to Gen Con 2 weeks ago. There's just a lot less people. I think they're at half attendance. Gen Con normally is like around 70,000. It was like 35,000. And I haven't heard like official numbers from this yet, but obviously, it's been a lot quieter than normal. Sales at Gen Con were actually like I think stronger than in previous years, but that was mostly because we had more products to sell.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't have numbers on sales at this convention either, so. Mm-hmm. But it seems. It's just more low-key, so for people new getting into it, right, I mean, that might be a good thing, it's not going to be like an overwhelming sea of people.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Nice. I can imagine at Gen Con there might be like just the not only the sheer volume of vendors, but the sheer volume of people. They might not actually be able to introduce a lot of people to the game. Compared to like now, where we actually had a lot of people who are just learning Frosthaven. We walked through them yesterday.
Oh, good. Yeah, like people who sat down and like haven't played Gloomhaven.
Haven't played Gloomhaven. Yeah, we had more than a few of those. So that was cool to just walk them through the rules and see them learn the process. So.
Yeah, so that's an advantage of having more booth space at Origins.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, at Gen Con we only had one table, and obviously there were more people, and so it was a very mad rush to like get the spots each day.
Of course.
And it was definitely people that were only like diehard Gloomhaven fans. So nicer to demo it for. Yeah, people who maybe aren't as familiar with Gloomhaven.
Mm-hmm. So Frosthaven actually introduces which we're really trying to show off here, introduces a lot of new mechanics outside the combat phase, crafting, the settlement building, and season events. So for those people who've just barely been keeping in touch and haven't had the full exposure to it, what do you think people should be most excited about out of the take out the combat? We have the settlement outpost phase. What's the most fun? What should people be hyped for?
Which aspect of
which aspect do you think?
There's the town building. I think is gonna excite a lot of people. I mean, that's always what's exciting to me in an RPG is not just fighting over and over, but being able to go back to town and do interesting stuff in town. And
I think people might get more invested if they're building up versus Gloomhaven, where just a prosperity check just went along.
Yeah.
And some of these the idea of building up a settlement or crafting things. I know for me, alchemy, when I saw some of those and saw the herbs as an Elder Scrolls fan, I'm like, that's cool. So first off, I hadn't experienced something like that in necessarily so many dungeon crawlers. So I was just curious if you had any influences or what influences you've had in the design process for Frosthaven.
In terms of crafting and town building, I don't know, I could give you any number of RPGs that I've played over my lifespan, like Suikoden, I don't know. Well, now I'm drawing a blank, but
but any personal favorites though?
Suikoden was always a great game. There was also this game on PlayStation 2. What was it called? I should remember. It was something Alchemia. Anyway, there was that game was it was an RPG, but it was also just all about crafting. So everything you killed or collected in a dungeon gave you materials that you would then spend on this just gigantic crafting tree. That was a fun game. I can't remember the name of it now. Something Alchemia.
All right, that's all right. We'll have to look that up. Maybe I'll put it in the description and let's see about that. So, Frosthaven, one of the biggest things is we've shown off the starters, and we know that one of your favorite classes has been the Necromancer, now Bone Shaper. So, out of the locked classes, do you have any favorites just by the icon?
Locked class favorites. Let's see here. Just trying to. Well, I mean the anemone is obviously like a lot of people's favorites. I think
It's pretty popular.
and yeah, I mean I enjoy playing it as well. It it plays so differently from other
right?
classes. So if that was exciting,
Yeah, for sure.
video for you.
Oh yeah. That'll be fun when we eventually get to that.
Yeah.
Like I really love the design for like meteor and diamond. I don't know what we call diamond, but it's just hard to describe it. Those are some pretty fun ones. Me personally.
Yeah.
Did any of them?
You mean like the diamonds? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that one as well.
Yeah, it's super fun. So, were any classes just in general for Gloomhaven or Frosthaven particularly more difficult to design, or is the design process a little bit more taxing compared to others? I can understand some of them would be a little more straightforward and some of them needing significantly more tinkering.
I don't know. It's hard to remember. It was so long ago when I like sat down to design them. I mean, designing classes has always been my favorite part of the game. So, and yeah, and it kind of it was over such a long period of time because that's what I was kind of focusing on. And obviously, like there was a lot of balancing that needed to go into them like, after they were made.
For sure.
So yeah, if I think about like what class was hardest to balance, I don't know. What would you say? I mean, you were involved in a lot of the balancing.
I mean,
as well.
honestly, I thought that like Drill and Meteor went through so many changes.
Oh yeah, Drill. Yes, yeah. I think Drill for sure was yeah took the most work. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah, I remember its original version, and I'm like, oh, it's so different now. It's so much better though.
Yeah. The original version was needed a lot of help.
And any of the starters that were particular? Because a lot of the starters were already mostly designed by the time I jumped in.
Right. Well, I mean the Bone Shaper, just because of the move from Jaws of the Lion to Frosthaven. Yeah, there was a lot of iterations of that as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yeah, I think the Blink Blade needed a lot of balancing too.
Oh yeah.
He was pretty strong to begin with.
A little bit too much. Let's move back this way. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we've been slowly moving out of
frame.
frame.
Oh, have we?
We're
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Whatever. All right. So there's like a lot of custom community content. If you're familiar with the Unity Guild, like
yeah.
All right. So like a lot of the things that the Unity Guild have been doing, so many custom classes, which are great, and including the big content box in quotes, Crimson Scales. Are you familiar with that project?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So what are your thoughts on it?
Thoughts on Crimson Scales
Absolutely.
or just the guild in general?
The Crimson Scales specifically.
Well, so I mean, I know of it obviously.
Uh-huh.
I haven't gone through the files and looked in depth at what it all is. But yeah, no, it's exciting that that the community is creating their own content. Yeah. I've got no complaints.
All right, that's cool. Have you seen any custom classes in particular?
I mean, yeah, I don't really.
Okay, that's fine. I know it's just so busy.
Yeah, and I'm just happy that the community is creating content for itself. I know I just said that, but I just want to reiterate that. Yeah, even though I might not have the time to go in and enjoy it. Maybe I will at some point. Maybe I'll do that.
After you've had a little nap
with Frosthaven. Yeah, after I've done with my nap. But yeah, just the fact that this community is like a living, breathing thing.
Yeah, it's a wonderful community. So, going beyond, I know it's probably don't want to think about it, but so after Frosthaven, we're getting at least close towards the end, and there's probably at least something more in the future for the Haven universe. Something, I don't know, Deep Haven, Hearth Haven, Storm Haven, something. Can you give us a little teaser? Do you even know?
I have ideas. I mean, there'll be some small teasers in Frosthaven itself.
All right, and one big question, and this is very divisive amongst the community. So I want you to think hard on this. Coke or Pepsi?
Can I go with neither?
Wow, okay, wow, neither, wow. What's better?
Root beer.
Root beer is objectively better, actually, so that's a really good point. So,
okay.
All right, so this has been...
okay.
Whoa.
I will do a vanilla Coke.
Vanilla, I do love it. I like, cherry Pepsi's really good. I do like that. Vanilla Coke and cherry Pepsi.
Yeah.
All right.
Out of those two, I'll go with vanilla Coke.
Yeah, I think we'll disagree there, but I think we're allowed to, so... Alrighty, so is there anything you want to say to the community or just ask us or just anything if you want to just speak your mind?
Well, I don't know. That's so broad.
That's a very dangerous question.
You know, I love the community, and I love coming to conventions like this and just having people, you know, come up and tell me how much they love the game and how much it's, you know, just like impacted their life positively. It's just always so great to hear, and I'm just so happy that everyone is happy.
Yeah, and even going through the Frosthaven demos, the amount of people that are just like seeing their enthusiasm over it has been like really huge, because I thought it would be more of like let's walk people through it and then like get through it, but I've seen like all these classes so much that they're kind of like, yeah, I know this, but some of these people are seeing them for the first time. Really, I mean, I guess I just assumed everyone has the same level of like digging into it as me. So seeing some people that were like, this is the Blink Blade, holy crap, look at these, and seeing their enthusiasm over it were really, I don't know, I totally get it, because I mean, obviously I didn't design it, but just knowing that, seeing someone's enthusiasm over it being designed, that's probably a very rewarding feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So this has been super fun. So Isaac, remember, Frosthaven is coming out sometime next year.
Early next year.
Very early next year. So it should be super fun. Thank you. You're amazing.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks for the interview.
Bye.